Hey fam, it's me, Aaron, and it's another great week of comics. We had an amazing weekend that I'm starting to remember, and at Megacon in honor of Triforce Mike, and a few comics this week. Aquaman. Not only is this the biggest comic of the week, Aquaman in January was a huge seller. It actually outsold every single Marvel book. There was no Marvel book that sold more copies than Aquaman #5. And make all the jokes you want about Aquaman and think that the Marvel characters are so sexy and hip and modern, but Jeff Johns has something that a lot of the other things don't have, which is called a central theme. And he comes up with a central theme for his story, and all the characterization, all that connects to that. And then it's just a really compelling story where it really doesn't matter what the character is. Jeff Johns is just the man. And now he's going to prove he can write women too with Mira. So make mine Mira. It's going to be awesome. And still the Atlantis, Justice League Atlantis, and all that crazy stuff. Aquaman is the place to be. If you were just waiting and I don't want Aquaman, try Aquaman, seriously. I still offer money back guarantee on issue 1, and I never had to give it back to anyone. I mean, everybody loves Aquaman because everyone loves Jeff Johns, and it's still okay to make jokes about him. He'll just prove that he's a badass. Wolverine and the X-Men. Kid Omega, this is pretty awesome. Wolverine's always been known to have a soft spot to be kind of a mentor to young girls, whether it's Kitty or Jubilee or Armor. He always loves those young girls. And, I don't know if it's because he's basically immortal, he can wait till they turn 18. I don't know what the real thing is about that, but now he's trying to mentor Kid Omega. And, I did some research, and basically wolf.org explains everything about why Wolverine does what he does. But Jason Aaron's the man, and Kid Omega's a really compelling character. I mean, Grant Morrison created some great characters like Phantom X and Kid Omega, and now these other writers are picking up on it. And Rick Remender did the Skyrim issue of UNCANNY X-Force. It's dragons and British stuff, and I don't know, like British people use dragons because they don't have any fossil fuels, and they don't really attack foreign countries that much anymore. I mean, they kind of got into a huge mess in Africa for a few decades. But anyway, this is a great book. Dragons and Captain Britain, core craziness. It's Alan Moore, man. It's Alan Moore. It's Rick Remender channeling Alan Moore, and that's amazing. I love Rick Remender, and one day I'm going to release the interview that I did with Rick Remender where he basically told me that I am pathetic. But it was very funny. And Rick Remender's Secret Avengers, look at that. That symbiote, them legs, I mean, what the hell? And Rick Remender is also a smart guy. He can write 3 books for Marvel if he just kind of overlaps the characters and the plots. So you have Captain Britain here, you have Venom in his Venom book, you have Venom here, so he's basically writing one book that you have to buy 3 times a month, and more if it ships more than that. And the biggest book I want to talk about this week is my pal, Triforce Mike Pandell, has a comic out. Yes, I know he's dead, but he has a comic out, and it's very classy. It's a tribute book, and I have his draw friend, the artist.
This is true. I drew every page. Shut up. In this comic. It has 23 pages, in fact. Panels, word balloons, bubbles, everything you could ever hope for from a comic. How awesome is this comic? We sold the shit out of it at Megacon this past weekend.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Everyone.
It's got Mike on the back. He'll stare at you like he wants to rape you for the rest of your life if you buy this book.
I paid for that photo shoot.
That's amazing.
Okay, anyway.
I drew the pony right there. There's a little pony down there.
Yes. We love ponies. And here's the thing about this book. It's funny. It's appropriate for kids because the sexual jokes, you don't get it unless you're an adult.
It's innuendo.
Mike was really funny and innuendo-like, but with kids, he was cool,
Absolutely.
He
love the kids.
And basically, Tony was Mike's draw friend, and Mike had such charisma that this is what a lot of you aspiring comic writers lack, is the charisma to convince a talented artist to basically draw it for free on the front end.
Pretty much. We're going to shorten the convince down to con, I think.
But it's done, and Mike delivered by dying before it comes out so that it sold very well.
Absolutely.
And now you're getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
And, if I hadn't reformed, and I'm trying to be a good leader, I'm trying to be, responsible, not an asshole, but I would have introduced him as, Bob Saget got a Fountain of Youth facial, and this is what he looks like now. But instead, I'm going to say that I've been truly inspired by this guy. He's been great. His best friend died. He continued to finish drawing it. He hand-sold it. He did sketches. He was an inspiration to all of us, and I think he's going to be a great leader for all these young, aspiring, wannabe artists and whatnot that pass through these doors for years to come. And, you know, Triforce Mike, we're building a legacy for him, and you can help. And we're going to be selling in the store and his t-shirt that goes to his charity, and it'll be on nerdyshow.com, which redirects from woofdads.org. So nerdyshow.com will have all of this.
Absolutely.
And you can shut up now because I'm going to talk about other stuff. All right, so Prophet, this is a book that I didn't really promote with the first issue because I was a dumbass and didn't order enough to really promote it, and then I'd have to be like, yeah, it's a really great book that I didn't order enough of. So anyway, I got the second print, which is just as good as the first print if you're not an asshole, and just the art is phenomenal in it, and the story is great. It's a lot like, you know, Paul Pope and that Mobius guy had a butt baby, and it's just really, really good, raw stuff, really original. And that's what Image is now, is just experience creativity. If you want to experience creativity, try this book.
So good.
And lastly, I wanted to talk about Superior. This Mark Miller. Mike loved Mark Miller. And this Superior book, Mark Miller did, my theory is it was a Shazam pitch that DC rejected because it was just too freaking good. I mean, the main character basically is like Captain Marvel Jr. He's all, what's the correct, like gimpy?
Yes.
And then, like, I don't know, he has multiple scoliosis or several palsies, or he has something, all right? And then he can say this magic word and become this amazing, full-grown adult with, like, you know, and just kick some ass. It's a great moral cautionary tale. It's like your favorite 80s movies, but with a lot more profanity, a lot more violence, but it'll make you laugh and cry throughout the course of the book. And it makes me really long for, why wasn't this the New 52 Shazam? You know, that would have been phenomenal if this was a New 52 DC Shazam. DC would have screwed it up eventually anyway, but this was great. If you want to see all that Shazam could be in a modern setting with a writer that's not afraid to throw a few curse words around, get Superior. Mark Miller is awesome. And if you didn't know, he's the writer of Kick-Ass, if you were living under a cave. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. If you want, subscribe to our videos and check out our blog. And we have other videos every week, some with Eric in a bathtub, Anna, you know, with her boobs. And we really thank you for watching, and give us any feedback you want. Thanks. Bye-bye.